Hello, hello. Welcome to The Connectors, the official CCBC Connection podcast, where we find the connections between us all. We are your hosts, John Fitzhugh
and Keith Anstead. Today we have Bailie Grace, recent CCBC graduate and student reporter for The Connection with us. She's here today to talk about her time as a student reporter at CCBC.
Bailie, thank you for being here today. Would you mind introducing yourself? And what was your major at CCBC and why you joined The Connection?
Yeah, so my name's Bailie Grace. My major at CCBC was communication and media studies. I switched it halfway through. I was a dental hygienist major to begin with, but then switched over to communications. I joined The Connection. I was looking for an elective to take, one more with my degree and everything. I was coming up close to graduation. So I was looking at my options, and out of all of them, online journalism was the one that caught my attention the most. I'm not the best writer. I don't take too much interest in writing, but taking online journalism, it let me, expand my horizons with writing more than just, regular papers for one certain topic. I was allowed to write about what interested me and what I thought that, was newsworthy for other people. So that's why I joined The Connection. And, I was going into it and I was like, it's just an elective. It's something I just need to take in order to graduate. But I actually ended up having a really fun time with it. We had a small class, and due to the pandemic, it just brought up more topics to write about. So overall, it was a really good experience.
That's really cool, your answer. I really like that. And it kind of leads into the next question, actually, because being a reporter covering CCBC, did that connect you with aspects of the community that you would not otherwise been exposed to?
Yeah, so definitely when I was going into it, when I would go to CCBC, I would go do my classes, leave. That's kind of just how I rolled with, school and work and everything. And when I was going through The Connection, being able to go through different topics to write about, I definitely focused on the school and different aspects of the school that I wouldn't personally have, experienced through. I did a report on our sports teams that, I don't play sports for CCBC, so I would have never gone to any of the sports events or anything just because, it just wasn't my thing. But I ended up writing an article about sports. I ended up writing an article about, CCBC as a whole when the pandemic started and how people or students from different majors were all experienced with it. And it definitely opened up more, connections with people that I probably would have not met throughout doing a report on them.
So Bailie, before you said you started as like a dental student, right?
Yes.
So I think it's you could agree with the term hindsight is 2020 and playing a Monday morning quarterback. So I guess my question is if you could go back and talk to yourself as an incoming freshman, what would you say?
I would tell myself I went into college not knowing what I wanted to do. Dental hygiene was my fallback due to, doing a little bit of work over the summer with a dentist. And, I took an interest in it. It was cool. It was really fun to, do it hands-on during the summer. But if I could talk to myself back going into freshman year, I would tell myself to not worry about, declaring a major right then and there. I would have, gone through my gen eds, looked at my options, see what best career options would be good for me, and then just not rush so fast into claiming a major. Because I think that's, some of the part where I, went a little wrong in my freshman year, just declaring way too fast and, thinking, okay, I'm going to do dental hygiene for the rest of my life. It's going to be great. Not really looking into what it takes to go into dental hygiene and all the classes and, taking the T's and getting into the program as a whole. So yeah, that's definitely what I would look through.
When you pick topics, do you feel you're drawn to certain topics? Like you mentioned sports and no interest in sports, but you wrote about it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. What was the inspiration and what was the draw?
So my inspiration for all of my articles were something that I was interested in. So when I say I'm not interested in sports, I would have never taken the time to go to a sports game, if I have work or if I have school. I love sports. I love watching sports. I've played sports. just with my time schedule and everything, it just wasn't possible for me to go to any games unless I did a report on them. Like I went to a baseball game because I wrote an article about our baseball team. And that was my excuse of being able to get out and go see sports. Sports was my number one, topic that I wrote about. I wrote about all aspects of sports. I love all sports. I grew up playing them. My family, we all grew up playing sports. So that is definitely something that, we're all very connected to, and being able to write about them. It was just able for me to put in my input about how I see the sports along with other people and how, all of our teams were going through different things at the time. So, yeah.
I guess the class allowed you to expand out like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, totally.
So before I came up with questions for this interview, I had to do a little research, right? So I went to the CCBC Connection, and all of your articles are pretty popular and get a lot of comments. But it looks like your article, How Are Small Businesses Surviving the Pandemic, has been like read and commented on the most. Why do you think this is, and are you surprised by this?
Writing that article, I didn't think that, posting my articles to the Connection, I didn't think they'd be, like that interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't write about boring stuff, but I'm like, it's just something, put out there. I'm definitely surprised by that. I did not know that it got, that much attention. When I started writing that, I thought in particular towards my cousin, who is a small business owner here in Catonsville. And just seeing how the pandemic affected her when it started, seeing through all the ups and downs that she's gone through with her business, and seeing how she ended up making it out on the end, was definitely, inspiring, seeing how all of these small businesses in general were handling the pandemic, and how they were, coming up with new ideas to make sure their business was able to stay open through social media and through, just advertising in general. And it was definitely interested being able to sit down with my cousin and talk to her about what's really going on with her small business, and seeing how she was able to come out on the end.
So what is the small business, Bailey? Put a plug out there.
So my cousin, her name's Sally. She's the owner of a pizza shop here called Pizza Pizza. It's on Mellor Avenue, right smack dab in the middle of Catonsville. They have all different kinds of pizzas, from, your regular cheese and pepperoni to like mac and cheese pizza and cheeseburger pizza. And they have a really good bakery. They have a bunch of different cookies and cakes, and it's literally so good. And salads. There is a healthy option. There is a healthy option, but overall, it's all very good. 10 out of 10 recommend if you are in Catonsville.
Yes,
Totally.
definitely.
How did being a student at CCBC, and maybe even importantly, the activities outside of class, prepare you to move on from CCBC?
So, like I said before, going into CCBC, totally didn't know what I wanted to do. But going through my 2 years, I did 2 years with an extra semester because I was behind one due to, switching my major and everything. So taking the classes I need to for one extra semester. During those 2 years, I was able to meet the best people that I am still in contact with today. I had some of the best professors, like we've mentioned before, Professor Kaplan. I had him I think my first year or my second year, or I mean my second semester ever going to CCBC. And since then, I took every class that I was able to with him. And along with him, I had, Professor Tucker and a lot of other professors that definitely helped me be able to prepare myself to transfer. I ended up transferring to UMGC online for my bachelor's degree in communications. And so far, I haven't had any hurdles. And being my last semester online at CCBC definitely prepared me for, being online for the rest of my academic career through a strictly online school. And being able to have, my professors accommodate to me being online, and all my friends, like, I'm able to still keep in contact with them, be able to call them if I had any questions. They were able to call me. We were able to, give each other feedback on our assignments. Overall, everything was just, smooth sailing to be able to transfer into a 4-year.
That's excellent. I feel the same way about the professors here, that I just haven't met a bad one. They
No.
really care.
Mhm. All of them, even with the electives and like, my sciences, my math, all of them were so down to earth and so easy to work with. I don't think I had a bad experience at all.
Here's the part that I can't wait for. A little birdie told me that you're being awarded the Outstanding Student Award in Journalism at the Student Life Awards banquet. So if you could just give us a mini acceptance speech.
You know, I got that email maybe like sometime last week. The thing is, it definitely caught me off guard because I still get CCBC emails because I'm still, I got my CCBC email and everything. So every time I see an email about like the store, or like, about something going on, I'm like, oh, okay, like, this doesn't like apply to me, I'm not there anymore. And so I was going through my email and I saw the CCBC email and I was like, oh, like, this isn't for me. But then it said, hi, Bailie, as like the little preview that I could see. And I was like, oh, I should probably open this. I was like, I don't think I want to delete this. So I go and I open it and I saw that it was about the award. And I was like, what? I was like, I did not think that I was anywhere close to being, awarded any kind of award in journalism. I mean, there's so many better journalism students out there, but I mean, I am truly humbled and honored to accept this award. I mean, it's something that totally caught me off guard, and it shows me that my journalism and writing was actually for something, and it wasn't just for a class. It was actually for other people to have interest in and to be able to read in their free time. And that just shows me that writing those articles wasn't a waste of time and just for a grade. It actually, my work actually paid off for doing the research and the interviews and getting quotes and all that stuff. And overall, I'm just very honored to accept this award.
You definitely should be. We wanted to say congratulations for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything we haven't covered about your time as a student reporter at CCBC?
I would say overall, if anyone, regardless of your communications major, no matter what your major is, if you have somewhat of an interest in writing and you don't think that you could do journalism, I would highly recommend to at least try out the class, try out regular journalism before you do the connection, and see how you take journalism. I took journalism and I was like, okay, it's just me going to be writing a bunch of papers, it's not going to be fun, blah blah blah. And after I wrote my first article and being able to see the different types of articles I could write, I knew right away. I was like, okay, I want to do online newspaper and I want to be able to write more for more people to see. And it totally took me off guard. Did not think I was going to enjoy it, but I would totally recommend it to anyone who's looking for, an elective to take, regardless if you're a science major, math major. I would 10 out of 10 recommend taking it.
Very cool.
We want to thank you again. Thanks for coming, Bailie. This has been fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Even listening to you could see how much you enjoy it. And it was really nice.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
For more student articles, go to blog.ccbcmd.edu/connection. While you're there, be sure to scroll down to the bottom and subscribe so you don't miss any new articles.
This podcast is produced and hosted by New Media Collective students Keith Anstead, Tia Robinson, Ian Capes, and John Fitzhugh. Thank you to Ian Capes for editing and sound design. Our theme music is Man Out of Town by Forget the Whale.
See you next time.